You leave home with a borrowed suitcase, a printed contract, and a hope heavier than your luggage. You're the eldest son, the only breadwinner, the one everyone silently leans on. The airport is loud, chaotic, overwhelming. You turn away before your eyes betray you. You tell yourself it's only 2 years. The plane lands in a blazing desert city you've only seen in advertisements. Clean, modern, towering. You imagine this is how your life will look now. But the illusion collapses quickly. A man holding a clipboard calls your name. He takes your passport for safekeeping. He takes your contract for processing. He takes your phone until orientation. In 20 seconds, everything proving you exist stops belonging to you. Your new home is a windowless room packed with men from 6 different countries, rusty bunk beds, a fan that turns slower than your heartbeat. The bathroom smells like bleach and despair. There's a single stove shared by 50 men. Your supervisor says the room is free, but the price you pay is silence. You lie awake that night, listening to strangers snore, cough, cry, whisper to their families through weak Wi-Fi. You realize you've traveled thousands of miles to feel smaller than you've ever felt in your life. You read your contract again. The salary on the paper is lower. The benefits are gone. The terms have changed. You ask your supervisor why. He shrugs. He says, if you want to leave, pay your recruitment fees first. Fees you didn't know existed. Fees larger than your savings. You do the math. You need a year just to break even. 2 if you send money home. Quitting isn't an option. Surviving is. The sun becomes your enemy. You wake at 4 a.m. to beat the heat. You work till sunset to beat the debt. Construction, cleaning, guarding, lifting. Your body becomes a universal tool. Breaks shrink. Lunch disappears. Water becomes a luxury measured in sips. You learn to work through dizziness, through headaches, through heat that melts the strength out of your bones. Some workers faint. Some don't wake up. You sign a document saying no one is responsible if you collapse. Not even God feels close in this heat. They call it a sponsorship system, but it feels like ownership disguised as paperwork. You ask about transferring jobs. No. You ask about a day off. Later. You ask for your passport. A cold smile. Why? Going somewhere? Some nights you sit in the dark dorm staring at the wall, slowly realizing the truth. The moment you handed over your passport was the moment you disappeared. Not to your family, not to your friends, but to the world. Out there, the city shines with luxury, but inside you are invisible, a ghost wrapped in sweat and dust. A human being turned into a line item on someone's spreadsheet. You hear stories. A coworker sent home sick, unpaid. A man who collapsed on site, ignored. A worker who spoke up, disappeared. Your hands crack, your back aches, your dreams shrink. But every time you open your phone and see your family smiling at the money you sent, the pain becomes something you can endure. Your salary arrives late, sometimes cut, sometimes missing entirely. But when it comes, your family celebrates. They eat better, dress better, live safer because of you. You starve a little so they don't have to. You suffer so they don't have to. You become a shield they'll never see, a sacrifice they'll never know. Sometimes someone is kind. A coworker shares water. A driver lets you rest 5 minutes longer. A stranger gives you a cold drink. Tiny mercies. But for people like you, small kindness feels like a revolution. Years later, you finally go home. You're older, thinner, worn out. Your hands shake from years of overwork. But when your family sees you at the bus stop, they run. They embrace you like you've returned from war, because in their eyes, you have. You look around at your repaired home, your siblings in school uniforms, your parents smiling without fear. This is what your suffering built. This is what your youth paid for. You were invisible in another country, but a hero in your own. You were exploited, underpaid, overworked, forgotten. But somehow, through everything, you kept going. You endured what would break others. In a world built on the backs of the unseen, you are the backbone, a survivor, a provider, a silent warrior no one will ever thank properly. But your family knows, and that's enough.